Hello everyone, today we're talking about an Oculus Quest horror game called Project Terminus. You can actually play this with 4 players, so let's get into it. But first, this is Lipnox VR, and thank you guys for watching. If you like VR content, drop a like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. We're doing this all the time, but let's get into the game. So Project Terminus, I actually played with another newer content creator who you may not have heard of, Your DM. We had some fun playing through, I guess it was maybe the first couple hours, the first few chapters of the campaign, and I had a blast, but I am not the kind of person to play horror games, so I admit there was a little bit of, fear regards that, and the anxiety definitely had me ready to turn off the headset by the end. But I still had a really, really good time, and I mean, it's co-op horror, and you don't really get a lot of good co-op games on the Quest. You see some of them, sort of mini experiences, some of the cooking things, some of like the mini game experiences, but a linear story you can actually progress through with 3 other friends, that's pretty legit. Complaint-wise, I totally agree, it's the character models, you kind of have to look through to find the more attractive ones, and there was just a few that were decent, but one thing I don't understand is the hats don't seem to align properly, nor do the hair really. So I think those things could get fixed, but ultimately that's a small concern. I find though, this being an indie game, I think developed by 2 individuals though, it's insane when you start this off because there's this huge thing where there's people running all over the place and you actually get to go through the subway and you can see the whole city of Paris, and then you see it get attacked. I noticed in the trailer, there's one moment you're on jet skis, and there's also another moment from the trailer very similar from the Ghostbusters movie against the big puff guy. So I feel like there's a lot to love in this game, and I got serious Half-Life vibes, but more on the horror element. You have to remember is, we are running on the Oculus Quest, and hardware-wise, there's a lot of optimization to get the best graphics possible, and I still think this does a great job. There are lots of assets I found within the game that were super high resolution when you got close to them, magazines, video screens, things like that, and in regards to that, graphically, I thought the game, for the most part, outside of the character models, looked quite nice. There's tons of things to pick up, there's tons of things to interact with, and it feels like a meaty experience. It is, I believe, $22 or something for the game in Canadian funds, that is. But you get the PC version too, the RIP version, so, you can, for argument's sake, it's very easy to play either the PC or the Quest version if you have a PC VR setup, and it's always nice when they do that kind of crossplay stuff. And again, this is a small indie developer. They have advertisements all over the game for other indie developers, side quest games, to the top I saw, for example, amongst many others. So it generally just gets this vibe of just this awesome indie game that you want to recommend, and you want to be like, this is a sweet game to play for Halloween, get your buddies together. It almost gives me the kind of vibe that some of the VR chat maps give you, the horror directed ones, but the Quest compatible VR chat ones at least. And it just feels like this is like a full game off of that kind of concept, and the price isn't high. This is going to be something you could easily invest 4+ hours in with your friends, so Project Terminus is a game that I'm definitely going to recommend to people who love horror games that you can play with your friends. I think by yourself, it's still totally worth it to check it out. I didn't beat the game, I played through the first bit, so consider this impressions kind of thought process on that, but I've played a lot of side quest games, I've played a lot of Oculus Quest games, so I can usually tell the really bad, the bad stuff from the good stuff, and this one it does the important things well, and the things it doesn't do well are really just sort of nitpicky for the most part, and I'm sure they will be updated as time's gone on. So big thank you to the developer for sending that over to me, so I hugely appreciate that. It was really fun to check this out and give it a play, and yeah, that's the game. So I'm giving it my thumbs up for, at least based on what I played, and it looks like it expands way out. You can see gameplay of the time I had playing with Your DM, and take a look at that. I'm a bit of a wuss, so keep that in mind in regards to these horror things, but I did find, in terms of horror scares, this one was manageable, as, you're not facing off against super detailed monster things. There's no swimming, thankfully. At least I don't think there is. I hope there's not. So keep that in mind. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out of here. Hit the bell if you like VR content, though, because you don't want to miss the next episode.